So on today's agenda, I'm going to clean and sand most of this hood, because I'm going to go ahead and use it to practice spray painting on. I was going to use that piece of plastic over there, but I decided to change my mind. We got Grandma's Camaro running over here because it needs to run for a little while. That AC is still cold after we replaced the compressor. We did do a run on this with the new battery cables and the terminals on it. This thing cranks up very healthily. And we have the self-etching primer that I'm going to put on the floorboard in the Cutlass so that it doesn't rust out. So let's go ahead and get doing that, and well, let's just get going. Let's get to work. Okay, we got the top side and the bottom done, so now they will be somewhat protected from rust coming back. And when I go ahead and put a layer coating of paint on them, it will stick. So that's a good thing. I waited, actually, when it came down to it, I waited a little too long for the bottom side because it was rusting. The surface rust is a little bit worse, but I'll just have to make note of it to not do that again. So that is it for that. Now I'm going to go ahead and I got my bucket over there, get my water and clean this off, start sanding on that, get it smoothed out and get it ready to go, and we'll see what we can get done with some paint. Okay, got it cleaned off. Looks much better. It's still damp right now, so I'm gonna let it air dry a little bit more before I start sanding it. So that's what's going on right now with it. Just air dry. Yeah, it is rough, but that's okay. We're here to use this as a piece of practice. Didn't wash all the way to the bottom of it, just washed up to the 2 nostrils and then at the top up here, and that's it. So we'll use that as the whole practice point, you know, sanding through here. And then these I'm not going to worry about because I'm probably most likely going to put the stock hood back on anyway. So once I get ready to start sanding it, I'll come back. Okay, I'm going to speed that clip up, or as you have seen, that clip has sped up. This is why we block things. Highs, lows. This is really bad. It's a lot better now, but never would have told how low or how high this is compared to here and here if you hadn't block sanded it. Same thing here, but also sanding it down did reveal some things that you didn't see through the primer. These little pinholes here, we got to fill those in, but you don't use sand. I got a couple, I saw a couple more down here. Oh, there's one right there. There's 3 right there, and I'm pretty sure there's dozens inside of this hood. If I keep looking for them, you got to use not filler, not Bondo. I can't, I'm having a brain fart. I'll put it in right here once I remember what it is. But anyway, we find those, then we can fill in those spots so that the paint doesn't fill that in for us. The primer, then the paint, then the base coat, then the clear coat, so this doesn't accidentally cause a little small crater or causes a little air pocket that will push the paint up from behind and ruin your nice paint job. I'm not going to worry about getting stuff like this too perfect because it's going to be a practice panel. Like I said, most likely I am not going to put this hood on the car. I haven't decided yet, but it's still leaning towards the no. So, but I will do my best. Yeah, and if I did, and if I was, there has to be a repair done here. And I think there was another couple of repairs on the nostrils also that needed to be done, like right there in the corner, especially. So, but I would take even more time to sand down, which I'm going to sand it down some more, because in order to get a great paint job, you have to have great body work underneath that paint job, because the paint can highlight your crap. So I'm going to go do some more sanding and we'll be right back. Why, yes, it is getting hotter and I'm sweating more. This helps. Anyway, and admittedly so, it is a big jump from 180 grit to 320 when I in reality need the 240 in between. But I want to get rid of the 180 scratches that will possibly show up in the paint, and I want to feather out these hard edges just a little bit better. Now, if I really wanted to get picky about the this, like say this for example, how low this is, I would completely get rid of this paint or this primer and everything and fill it to become level with this and this, because it is low, but it is feathering in nicely there, and it's starting to barely feather here. It's feathering here and here, and everything else is feathering because it's all about the same height. This, on the other hand, could use a little bit more matching, because you could feel how this goes up, then it goes down, then a little ridge again. Obviously we can see that. So yeah, it is a little bit of a jump, but I'm gonna go ahead and use it, smooth it all out, and then we'll come back. Oh, and before I forget, one thing I could really be using right now is the guide coat paint, so I can see where my high and low spots are. But we'll save that for when we are painting, especially this car and this car, but this one first, especially the Camaro first. Okay, so here we are right now. It looks darker than what it should be because I just kind of wiped it down with a wet rag. The 320 did smooth it out tremendously, obviously. I just wiped it down just to clean it up. But there is a lot more spots that should be fixed and repaired all over. But like I said, this is going to be for me to practice to get my how I'm supposed to move the gun properly. It's been years. I mean, when I was in high school, and then after that when I was working for a company that painted airplanes, how to get, just to make sure I get my overlap, everything, you know, make sure I get that down. This is what this is being used for. So we're going to practice with this, but if we see stuff like this on the Camaro or anything else, you know, one panel at a time, we're going to take our time, fix everything, block it out properly, sand it smooth, get it perfect, primer it if it needs to be primered before, and then move on to the next panel, and the next panel. One panel a day, 2 panels a day, whatever. But you know, That's how you eat an elephant one piece at a time. So, we got visitors. Not really. People miss their turns. So, that's that for today. Tomorrow or even later this evening, I will bring everything I need out here. I will probably move this somewhere else because I don't want overspray getting onto these cars. Granted, they will be getting painted, but I have those two cars to worry about. They don't need to be getting painted on. So I will probably put a tarp up somewhere. Maybe put a tarp, open those two doors of the barn, the metal wood shed right there, hang a tarp, sit this up against it, and spray out there. That sounds like a better idea. So, all right, if you watched this far, thank you. Give me a like, comment, and a subscribe. And if you see something that I missed that I could do better, please let me know. And until then, I'll talk to y'all later.